Among my belongings, I found the enclosed article. I was very moved by what I read and could not throw it away. I would like to pass it on to you since it was originally written by James Kimball, Chief of Police of Sibley, Michigan in 1922. Please accept this article and share it as you see fit. Respectfully, Ida B. Moody, Weed, California. The article she was referencing came out of the Herald newspapers back in 1922. It was written by James Kimball, who was then the Chief of Police. To the veterans of World War, Wyandotte, Michigan. Gentlemen, through the medium of the Wyandotte Record and associated papers, it is my desire to bring forcibly to your attention the neglect of respect and reverence which should have been paid Michael J. Doyle, a veteran of the World War, who was killed at Sibley, Michigan in a motor truck accident and buried without ceremonies of any kind. Michael J. Doyle, whose address is believed to be Stafford, Connecticut, fought on the battlefields of France for the honor of the Stars and Stripes. If the honor of the Old Glory means anything, then he was fighting for that honor. He was not a drafted man, but enlisted. It must have been his desire to give up his all to fight for the cause which cost the lives of a great many men. All around him, comrades fell, many to be carried off the battleship or the battlefield to their last resting place. But this man came through it all, returned to the States, and was discharged. On his person were found papers, the symbol of his service, which honorably discharged him from the Army. On October 28, 1922, he met death at Sibley, Michigan, when a motor truck in which he was riding from Akron, Ohio to Detroit upset, pinning him beneath the cabin of the truck, crushing him to death. He was taken to Tone's Undertaking Room on Sycamore Street in Wyandotte, where for 10 days his body lay in hope that friends or relatives might be located. His death was promptly reported to A.L. Schufert, commander of the Wyandotte Post, by Judge Avery Knowles of Sibley, who told Mr. Knowles he would take care of the matter. During these 10 days, not a man called to pay homage to a buddy of the World War. You, perhaps, can recall some of the hell of war over there, and must surely admit that this man was not an exception to that hell. You may not have known him, you may not have fought shoulder to shoulder with him, but you did fight with him somewhere on the battlefields of France, and that made him your buddy. But did you honor him as such? On November 6, 1922, he was laid to rest in the Oakwood Cemetery, Northline, Wyandotte, in a section of that burial ground set aside for paupers, with not a mark placed over his grave to indicate he was a veteran of the American Expeditionary Forces. Boys, be fair. Do you willfully approve of such a burial for your buddy? Without even a prayer, other than the one the undertaker might have offered for his soul. His body, garbed in the clothing he wore when taken to the undertaker's rooms, placed in a cheap coffin, was lowered into the grave, buried by the county. Boys, you have something to answer for. Think it over. Very respectfully yours, James Kimball, Chief of Police, Sibley, Michigan. James Kimball was a Spanish-American war veteran.